Welcome to episode 5 of the D5 Football Podcast. This week we're joined by Ben Whitfield of Torquay. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good as well. So if you're not familiar with what we do, we have a chat with National League footballers, managers, coaches, anyone like that. Go over their career, ask them some questions and some ones from Twitter and sort of get a bit of a general insight into sort of what it's like to be in the National League, especially sort of when fans aren't in games anymore. So it's something for them to sort of watch and still be sort of joined in the action, if you like. We're going to be speaking about this season and last season, obviously, for any Torquay fans watching this, but also sort of Kidderminster fans, maybe Yeovil, Port Vale fans who want to hear about one of their former players. So first thing, as we always ask, how did you get into football?
From a young age, really. Dad obviously was a big football fan, and he just got me into buying footballs for me when at a young age and playing in the garden, kicking it around, and you sort of just get into something. And I've always liked different sports, like whether it's football, cricket, golf. So obviously at a young age starting football, and it's just carried on ever since. And yeah, that's basically how it started.
So obviously youth career sort of been around at sort of Bradford and lots of teams in sort of West Yorkshire area, if I'm right, from where you grew up, obviously.
Yeah, from a young age, I was at Bradford City throughout their youth academy. I didn't get a scholarship there, and then joined Guiseley. So from a young age till around 17, I've been in the West Yorkshire area. Yeah, that's where I've been based.
And what was that like, moving around between different teams and sort of Bradford, quite a big club, others not as big, and sort of gaining different experiences from those teams?
Yeah, obviously when I was younger at Bradford, I always wanted to play for them. My dad's a big Bradford fan, and I became a big Bradford fan, and that was when I was 13, 14, 15, playing for that club and that youth development. You wanted to grow up and play for them. Obviously, I didn't get a scholarship there. It wasn't to be, so I moved on to Guiseley, and that's where I basically did a scholarship and signed my first professional contract, as it would.
So after you had your sort of experiences at a few Yorkshire clubs and sort of youth team stuff like that, you went to Bournemouth. So, and I think about 17, 18 when you did that. So to make that step up at what was quite a young age and being involved with them, they were Championship at the time, I think. And I think that's when they were on their way up and stuff like that from League Two to League One. Must have been quite exciting.
Yeah, I was doing really well at Guiseley, and I had a trial at Huddersfield, and then out of the blue heard that Bournemouth were interested. Got invited down to look around the training ground, etc., and met the manager, met the assistant. I went down with my dad, and since then I never looked back. I signed that day, and that was it. Obviously, moving 300 miles away from my family home at 17, it was sort of going to uni as such at an earlier age than what you would. But obviously, it was to do something that you love and something that you've always dreamed about doing. And to sign at a championship club at 17 was obviously a dream come true. I learnt a lot there, and I'm thankful for my time there, and that'll always be with me throughout my whole career.
Do you think that was sort of a bit of a benefit to you at a young age, moving other side of the country, sort of getting away from where you grew up? Obviously, you'd have your mates, stuff like that, which you wouldn't be able to see as much. But moving to the other side of the country, it allowed you to sort of almost isolate yourself and be like, right, I can knuckle down here and develop my skills as a footballer and not have any distraction, because it's quite, you probably had mates and probably had a few that would obviously weren't footballers and might have got into a bit of trouble, or might have been a distraction where they're saying, "Oh, come out and do this." No, that type of thing. Do you think that was a pro for you?
Yeah, 100%. You could put it like that. Luckily, I've always had a good group of friends and close friends that have always supported me and never been a bad influence whatsoever, which has always been good. They always come down and visit at every club I've been to, which is nice. But yeah, moving away, like you say, you've got no other distractions. You're not going back to your family home every day. You're not seeing your friends. You're not going out with your friends to do anything. It's 100% football. And at 17, yeah, probably going down there and knowing that all my focus is on football. I've got nothing else. I'm going down there for one thing and one thing only was probably a pro of being down there. Yeah.
And so you're at Bournemouth, and so obviously I could see obviously first team. So what was you you obviously had loan spells later on, which we'll come on to. So what were you actually sort of doing at Bournemouth from that young age of about 17?
At 17, I went straight into the under 23s or under 21s. I can't remember what they called it back then. I was training with them every day. Then that was in the January till the summer. Then that summer, I was lucky enough to be involved with the first team pre-season. I didn't go away with them, but I did a lot of training sessions with them, and I was always called up, and which was massively beneficial for myself, and it made me grow as a player. I then played for them in pre-season for the first time against some big clubs like Southampton and Swansea, which was good, and I gained massive experience from that.
So I guess that must be quite good. Listen, even if it's only a few games and it's sort of friendlies, pre-season type of thing, to test yourself against all the sort of level of clubs must be quite good. You had loan spell, Kidderminster, they were National League at the time, and would have been sort of your first proper spell, I think, of sort of professional football by your sort of pre-season, games here and there.
Yeah, it was. It was my first look at the men's football properly, at the highest level I'd have played at, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. I think I was 19. Yeah, so obviously going to Kidderminster, and although we were in a relegation battle for near enough majority of the season, I think that made me mature as a player, knowing I was going out to play for 3 points every week and try be part of a side and keep that side in the National League instead of being relegated was a massive benefit to me, instead of playing under 23s football like I've been used to, going out and not really playing for 3 points as such. You were just doing it for yourself, your fitness, to try pushing to Bournemouth's first team, whereas going to a National League side, knowing fans were involved, you had people's livelihoods as such depend on the result you get on a Saturday, which is what football is about. And for my first time at Kidderminster, for it to be at Kidderminster, I really enjoyed it, and it was a great club to be at. And I still speak to the chairman. The chairman still keeps in contact with me now, and which is really good.
Sad note, obviously you got relegated in that season, and you said that sort of helped you and made you mature, but not a good start, I guess, to start your career off with a relegation, though, I guess.
Yeah, you could say that. Personally, I had a good season, which benefited me. Obviously, as the team being relegated, it's obviously not nice to be in a relegation battle, and it wasn't nice to get relegated, and it made me open my eyes to what football is really about and how much fans care about football clubs and are a big part of it, because at the end of that season everyone was devastated. You had 2,000 fans at every game, and they were all devastated as well when the day we got relegated, and you could see what it meant to people. So for me, it made me realise that when you go to other clubs and sign other places, that you are going out to play for 3 points at Saturday to keep a football team in that league or get promoted, and being part of a relegation, you don't want to be part of that again. And in my head, that's always made me aware, and obviously I've always gone out to play my best, and hopefully I've never been part of a relegated team again, touch wood.
Well, I don't think that'll be happening this season, although, like I said, early days, we'll come on to that later. You got player of the season for that, so that's your first season. That must be amazing. First season in National League, obviously you would have loved that. That's amazing. But player of the season, you must be absolutely buzzing with that, especially at a young age.
Yeah, of course I was. For the fans to recognise, especially a lone player, I'm not obviously not one of their players. I've come on loan quite late. I think it was October time, and to win Player of the Year, and for the fans to get behind me as a lone player was really nice, and I've always been grateful for that, and I was grateful at the time for winning that award.
So obviously your loan spell ended at Kidderminster, and you went to Yeovil. So sort of down near Bournemouth area, maybe my geography of the south. So yeah, sort of near, over near Bristol area, isn't it? So not as far as, I don't know, Kidderminster's up near Birmingham, I think. In my head it is anyway, maybe a bit south of that, I don't know. So a bit closer then. Obviously they were League Two. So that's a step up, and again, so to test yourself in the Football League, a load of spell of course, but you still must have been happy to get that call and join Yeovil.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it at Yeovil. To know it was my first time in the league, that made it even better, knowing I made the progression from the previous year. I'd stepped up a league. That was a great achievement in myself. And to play as many games as I did. I think I played 42 games that season. I think I made 42 appearances in all competitions.
Yeah, I've got 34 in the league here, but yeah, maybe a bit more other competitions.
Yeah, in all competitions. Well, 34 in the league and 42 in all competitions was another beneficial season for me, and to play at a higher level and see what that's about was obviously good, yeah.
And finished 20th, but it looks like you did have a bit of a playoff push, if you like, around December and getting up there. But weren't to be for that season then.
No, yeah, we were right up there around Christmas. We lost a couple of key players. I think there was one lad on loan from Swansea, and I think Barnes ended up signing him. And he was obviously a main starter and a key player for us. And after Christmas, it wasn't to be. And yeah, it did turn into a bit of a relegation battle, but we had a very strong squad back then, and one that definitely didn't deserve to be relegated, and rightfully we stayed up in the Football League.
And I think they're now National League now, and I think during that period, I think we put a graphic out a few weeks ago with how they've been down near the bottom of the league for consecutive over the past couple of years. And yeah, I mean, quickly on Yeovil sort of this season from what you've seen, they're obviously I think down near the bottom now. But what do you think about them? Obviously, didn't go back up last year, but what do you think they could do this season then?
Last season, they were probably one of the best teams we played. We definitely knew about it on Boxing Day when we were defeated 6-2. And yeah, they were a very strong outfit last season. We haven't played them yet this year, and I haven't really seen too much on them. I'm pretty sure they kept the majority of their squad. Obviously, they got the same manager. So yeah, last season they were definitely a strong outfit. And if you just said one of the best teams, like what team was the best last season, I'd have said they were right up there. This season, it's obviously football. That's what football is. It changes so quickly. But I don't think they'll be down there come the end of the season. I think they've got a very strong squad and a good manager. So I'm pretty sure they will be down there by the end of the season.
And end of loan spell, Yeovil staying in League Two, went to Port Vale on loan.
Yep.
So again, bit up north, back up north. You obviously been all around the country. What was that like then? What was your reasoning for moving to Port Vale?
Just my agent at the time was found me the move to Port Vale. Obviously, I wanted to stay in the Football League, having played there the previous year, and Port Vale was a club that was interested, and it was a bit closer to home, which was good for me. I hadn't been close to home for a few years, so I chose that move, and it was a good one, yeah.
So for that season, then, what would have been your standout moment for Port Vale?
Probably beating top of the league 4-0, which was Luton at the time. We were unbelievable that day, and I scored and got 2 assists, which was great for me. And obviously the team beating the top of the league 4-0 was obviously brilliant throughout that season. That was probably and to be fair, towards the end of the season, we were in a relegation battle. There was a game against Chesterfield, which was neck and neck. There was us, Notts County and Chesterfield at the bottom of the league. And I was on the bench, and one of the lads got sent off, and it was 1-1, I think it was. So we were down to 10 men. It was probably one of the biggest games of our league campaign, of the positions we were all in, and I came on and scored, and that'll probably live with me forever as a moment that I'll cherish. And yeah, it was definitely a good moment.
And obviously you stayed up, and sort of other teams went down, and you made the deal at Port Vale permanent. And so 2 parts of that, obviously making the deal permanent, but obviously leaving Bournemouth
Yeah, it was a big decision, but one I think I needed to make. I realised that I probably wasn't going to play for Bournemouth. They were in the Premier League. They were flying. They were signing players like Jermaine Defoe. And sometimes you've just got to look and say that you're not going to be competing for a place in that team, and it's time to move on. And having previously done well at Port Vale, it was definitely a club I'd like to be in at, and enjoyed my time there. We had a good group of lads. Enjoyed playing football at that football club, and one that I thought, yeah, we'll make the permanent move to there, and that's why that happened.
So yeah, 18-19 season when you made it permanent at Port Vale. What would you say your highlight of that season was?
Probably had to wait for my chance a little longer than I'd have hoped, but obviously having then started my first game of that campaign, I think it was against Northampton. I scored and kept my place in the side for quite a while after that, and that was obviously good for me, having made the permanent move there. Knowing the first start I'd scored and done well, and kind of secured my place in the side for quite a while.
And then it came to end of that season and start of next season, and you left Port Vale for Torquay amongst, I think, a bit of drama, if you want to say. I don't know if you want to go into that. If you don't want to, that's fine. But you left Port Vale for Torquay, which where you're at now.
Yeah, it was definitely a move that I needed, and one looking back, probably been the most beneficial move of my career. I'm playing some of the best football I've played, and I'm thoroughly enjoying my time down here.
So, a bit of an awkward season where you had start of your season cut off, end of the season cut off, obviously because of government, but still played every game. And listen, it is a step down, obviously, in terms of leagues, but it must be good to be getting back to playing football on a sort of regular basis, being able to play.
Yeah, the season before, towards the back end, I got around January time, I got injured. Then a new manager came in, and it was a stop-start back end of the season for me. And come the end of that season, I knew it was a time in my career that I needed to be playing week in, week out, and playing football regularly. That's why everyone's a footballer who wants to be a footballer. That's why the pros, they just want to play football. And that's what I wanted to do, and I knew I needed to do that. It was a big point in my career. I was 24, and I needed to be playing regular football. So moving down to Torquay was definitely beneficial for me. Yeah.
And for that season, I forgot to put down where you finished last season, but you were up near the playoffs near November, but I had a bad run, 7 defeats in a row, which can't be good for you. I can't imagine.
No, we went on a really good run. We went 8 unbeaten, I think it was, and then we got a few injuries. I know we try not to put it down to that, but we got some injuries to a few key players, and it disrupted our season quite a bit. We actually went on a really good run, and we couldn't stop winning for quite a good part of it. But then, yeah, when we started losing, we needed to pick it up, and it was a tough period for us. Having come out of the other side of that, we started to pick up a few more points, and that was good. And then obviously, the virus hit, and the season was ended early.
So, like I said, you had first half cut off, bit at the start cut off, bit at the end cut off, but you did play every single game, so it's sort of a bit different for you. But again, for you, playing football must have been quite good. And that spell, like I said, where you had that really good run, I'm going to come on to this season, like I said before. Do you think that was sort of a hint and sort of a glimpse of what this is what we can do, and that is now what you're doing this season?
Yeah, we had a good team last year, a really strong side, and I think the run we were going on was one we deserved, and momentum was carrying us forward. I think this year now, the signings we've made, we've gained a lot of experience, something I think we lacked a lot of last year. I think there was a game last year where it ended up I was the oldest person in our team, and I was 23 at the time. So that was obviously quite a strange moment, because you don't get many people that are 23 and they're oldest in the team. But yeah, this year we've gained a lot of experience, signed some really key players, and I think we've shown how good we can be so far already during this season.
And this season, had let's say problems, not just football, but the general world, and delays and games getting called off. But for you to then still, as you and the team obviously, to come through and still be brilliant start now must be quite good to show sort of resilience of the team as well, that other teams might not be able to have.
Yeah, I think that's key. I think we're lucky enough down here to being in the southwest to having not as many cases elsewhere as everyone else, so it kind of keeps us not away from the virus, because obviously you can't stay away from it, but we've been quite lucky in the area we are in, and there's not been as many cases as you say, like Manchester and Yorkshire, places like that. So it's to keep our games being not called off, and keep playing. And when you're winning, you need momentum, and that's what's carried us forward. So if it had been stop-start, who knows what would have happened, obviously, with us winning games. But luckily for us, it hasn't, and we've taken every advantage of that, and we're in the position I believe we deserve to be in.
And you had I think it's sort of made national news, a bit of a crazy game. FA Cup game, I don't know if that's some kind of record or anything, I don't know, but I was looking at that like, that's a crazy game. So went into extra time and you lost 6-5, you scored in that game. Explain what happened with that, because I was looking at that thinking, well, was that a case of both teams had really, really good attacks, or both teams had bad defences then, or what happened there?
A bit of both, really. I think the goals that were scored on the day, if you watch them back, were all very good goals. All probably deserved to be goals. They scored some great goals. We scored some great goals. I don't think you can put it down to bad defending. Sometimes just things happen. Being 2-0 up at half time, we were by far the better team, and if you're at half time, we deserve to be in the lead, and we deserve to win the game. I still don't think we deserve to lose the game now. Watching it back, it's very harsh. We were 5-3 up and 2-0 up. So we had 2 goal cushions both times, and when you've got them, you shouldn't be losing the game. So it's gone off again, sorry, mate. But yeah, we shouldn't be losing the game, and we have. We've put that to the back of our heads now, and we've got to move on and move forward and focus on the league and hopefully getting promotion.
Is that something that sort of the manager's been saying? Because it's positive, obviously, that Crawley, obviously, league above, and scoring that amount of goals against them is obviously a good thing, but also conceding isn't any good. Is that something that is sort of been able to say, well, this is what you did good, and you sort of taking that into the league?
Yeah. Whenever you score 5 goals at home, I don't think you should be losing the game. But it's happened, and score 5 goals against a team that are a league above, and they're actually doing really well. They were a good side. They passed the ball, moved the ball, and I think they'll be right up there this season in League Two. And I thought we gave them a really good game and gave a good account as ourselves, and probably shown that we can do it at the next step if we prove ourselves more in this league, and hopefully get the chance to gain a promotion.
Well, speaking of promotion, now I know you're going to obviously be a bit sort of conservative with it and be a bit more sort of playing it down a bit, but being in the position where you are now, still early days, of course, and we've seen it happen before where teams are flying high at start and stuff can happen, but we also see it where they stay at the top, they get to the top, and they stay at the top for the whole time.
Yeah.
Based off, like I said, how long you've been at the club, and what is it, how do I word this, sort of, obviously you're at the top now, so there's only one way you can go. You can only go down, but you can keep that up. So going forward, do you think it's something where you can keep it up, this sort of level of performance, or is it perhaps you think maybe a bit lucky?
No, I think so far from how we played, we definitely deserve to be where we are. Like I said earlier, we've gained some great experience in the side and some key players for us in key positions. We're playing some good football. I certainly think we've won games by how well we've prepared and how well we've gone out and executed the plan for that day. And I think we've been very successful so far, and hopefully long may it continue. I don't think anything's luck in this. You do need a bit of luck, obviously, along the way. Football's nothing without luck sometimes. but there's some very good teams in this league, as everyone knows. You probably wouldn't have put Yeovil at the bottom of the league at this stage either. So, like I said, there's some great teams in this league, and as long as we just concentrate on ourselves and focus on what we're doing and not worry about anyone else, like I said, hopefully it can be a very successful season for Torquay United.
I hope it is as well, and hopefully you come up to Football League, hopefully. I mean, I say that to every team, I say that to everyone we have on, hope you get promoted, so it can't happen to everyone. But listen, I think if you're top of the league, then you've got a good chance, compared to being mid-table. So that's sort of for your career. Now, I've got a few sort of general questions. Best player you've played with?
Best player I've played with? Can we count pre-season?
Yeah, count any game.
Nathan Aki, 100%. He was the best I've seen in training, the best on the ball in a game. Just everything came naturally from him. He always seemed to have so much time on the ball when he didn't, but he made it look like he did. So composed, just coming out of the ball from the back. And a nice guy off the pitch too. So yeah, he's definitely the best player I've played with.
And best stadium you've played in?
Probably MK Dons. I think it's like a mini Wembley. I think anyone that's played there at a lower level will know how good that stadium is. Even outside around the place, it's brilliant, and inside the stadium as well. When you look around, it's when you see Wembley on the TV, and having been there, obviously to watch games, it's just a smaller Wembley and a good stadium to play at.
I guess it would be better if it had sort of 15,000, 20,000 people in, but I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon for league games for them. Maybe they get an England game there or something if Wembley closes. I don't know. The EFL Trophy, now this is something that, similar to MK Dons, where there's a bit of controversy. EFL Trophy, a lot of fans don't like it. There's sort of controversy around it with sort of the under 23 teams. But from when you've played in it, you've done quite well. So for you as a player, what are your thoughts on it? And I don't think you would have played in sort of the old format, but you would have seen the old format. What's your thoughts on it in general then, the sort of new format?
I think I played in the new format. I think it was the last season I played in it. I think it's a good trophy. It's a good chance for the lower teams, to League 1, 2 teams, to get to Wembley. And what footballer don't want to play at Wembley? That's what everyone aspires to do and wants to do when you're a football player. So I think it gives them teams a great chance to get to Wembley, and having them Premier League 23 sides in it shows what they're about and gives them a chance as young lads as well to potentially get to Wembley as well.
Is it something that you would have liked to sort of, if Bournemouth had entered sort of a B team or under 23s team, is that something you would have liked when you were there to play against sort of League 1 or League 2 teams, and then they might have sort of said, well, this lad's quite good, and we've seen it in the past where you've played in the EFL Trophy and then they've sort of made a low move. It's not always the way you have to do it. You can play in pre-season against someone. There's lots of other ways you can play against them. Is that something you would have liked maybe?
Yeah, I think it'd have been good at that age to get in a month playing against men, especially League 2 and League 1 clubs who they're playing for 3 points on a Saturday, and obviously a 23 side just go out and you don't really play for much. So I think that would have been good, yeah, playing at Bournemouth. I think it's good for the young lads now, especially at them Prem teams or Champ teams that are playing in that. It gives them a chance to show what they're about, and playing against a League 1 or 2 team might catch the eye of someone watching or the team they're playing against, and might give them an opportunity to play in the league.
Yeah, obviously growing up, is the image of being a footballer, the sort of some of the stuff you do. Obviously depends on your level. If you make it to the top level, you get a lot of money. But even down at a lower bit, you can still make a bit of money. But so for you, that is that image then growing up. This is my point I was making. But has there been a point where you've sort of something's happened and you just thought, I never thought it would be like this? Something the media team has said want you to dress up for something, or something completely bonkers like that. Has anything happened where you thought, what am I doing here? And it's sort of like it's not what you would have expected to happen.
No, I don't think so. Not really. I think I think if you ask any footballer, I think the initiation song when you first
Mm.
join a club, that's obviously no one likes doing that. It's a big thing, and everyone makes a big deal about it. But it's football at the end of the day, and it's something that's part of the game and something that's part of the parcel when you join a new football club. So there's nothing really that stood out to me and thought, no, what am I doing? You just take everything as it comes, and if something happens that you think a bit iffy about, you just get on with it. I think it's football at the end of the day, and it's what you want to do and what you want to be, and I think you just got to take everything as it comes.
So initiation, you said. What songs were you singing? Is obviously up for.
I've sang a couple. I've sang R. Kelly. Is it what's it called? World's Greatest. R. Kelly. I've sang Ignition by R. Kelly. Anyone would think I like R. Kelly, wouldn't they? But I've sang. What else have I sang? Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. Yeah, that's the other one I've sang.
Common one, yeah.
Yeah.
So next question we've got. Advice you'd give to young players coming into the game today?
It's a good question. Just to work hard. Keep working hard and practicing. I know the saying, practice makes perfect. It does, but you can always practice more. I think as a young kid, I was never out of the back garden. I was always practicing and practicing and practicing. And I think every footballer will tell you that as well. Hard work's massive. It's key to being a footballer, and you just got to get your head down and work hard. And finally, probably believe in yourself. As a young age, I think I've always believed in myself and my ability, and I think everyone who's made as a pro has as well. Otherwise, they won't be where they are. So if you believe in yourself and believe what you can achieve, I think you've got all the right attributes to go all the way as a young person.
Would you recommend you called sort of almost like being at university? Would you recommend that sort of getting sort of away from where you, at an age, of course, obviously you can't do it too young, but at an age, perhaps 17, 18, 19, getting away and to somewhere else, almost isolating yourself and doing that? Would you recommend that for others, or is that something you think sort of depends on what type of guy you are? Because some people obviously different personalities and stuff, and they need the family and the friends around them to support them.
Yeah, it depends on the type of person. Like you say, I've known people that haven't turned pro till they're 24 and they're playing in the league now, and they're only 26, 27. So they've gone down the road of going to uni, playing uni football and playing playing at local level, and then working their way through the league. So it just depends on the type of person, I think. Obviously, I never went to university or anything like that. I've always had one thing in my mind, and that's just to play football. And lucky enough, I've been able to do that.
This is a question we ask trying to ask for every player now, so you might be familiar with. I don't know. If you could go back to one moment in your career and see an alternate timeline and see what that were, change a moment, perhaps join a different club, change a game, whatever. What moment would you change and why?
It's a great question, that is. I'm not too sure. Maybe staying at Bournemouth for another year, not signing permanently when I did. Obviously, I got offered another deal there, so maybe staying as high as possible for as long as possible. But then again, I don't have any regrets of leaving and doing what I've done now. I think it still was the right decision for me, and I don't have any regrets doing that. So no, I don't really think I look back and think I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do that, etc. I think I'd still do it now. I wouldn't change anything. Everything's a learning curve in football, and I'm still learning now. Something doesn't have to go wrong for you to learn from it. You're always learning anyway. So it's a good question, but yeah, I don't think I'd look back at anything and say, why did I do that? Should I have done that? I'd still probably make the same decision as I did then I would now.
And speaking of learning, for you now, obviously still young, you've played in the Football League, you've now had sort of good spell in National League. And listen, And I know what you're going to say. You want to get promoted with Torquay. Obviously, you want to do that. But for you in your career, without him or whatever, what do you think the future is for you?
Just to keep playing the best football and playing at the best of my ability. I don't think no one enjoys playing bad. You want to have the best game every week. Obviously, that doesn't happen every week because everyone has a bad game. This season, definitely focusing on getting promoted with Torquay is my main focus and my main aim. Still playing week in, week out, scoring goals, getting assists, making things happen. But my main focus this season is definitely getting Torquay promoted and having a promotion on my CV, because that's what everyone lives for. Everyone wants to be part of a promotion side. You never want to be part of a mid-table or a relegation battle. You always want to be striving for better things, and nothing's better than a promotion.
Yeah, we've got a little start about Torquay, obviously doing quite well, to say, for this season. The start of 19 points from 8 games is the best start to a National League season. The second best start was 17 points from 8 games in the 07-08 season when they went on to finish third. So history says she'll be doing quite well, but we'll see what happens. And that's a little plug we've got. So follow the Twitter account. Anyone watching this, you get stats like that. That's a little plug we've got. But Torquay fans, obviously, were watching this. What message do you have for them for this season?
Obviously, it's a strange time to be living in the world at the minute. Just to stay with us and keep obviously purchasing the stream and watching us that way until we can safely have you back in the stadiums. I know a lot of fans, obviously, from Twitter, etc., that are watching that and are sticking with us all the way, and they obviously know that everything we do on the pitch is for them as well as us. And we're very grateful for their support, and hopefully we can have a very good season for them as well as us.
Yeah, and one thing I did nearly forget, I've got some Twitter questions. Some of them might be duplicates, so I'll have a quick run through these. Do you ever stop running? Plenty of supporters recovered from that Crawley game because of the belief this season we're going to get back into the league. Is that belief as strong with you, players, coaching and the staff?
Yeah, I do stop running, just. But yeah, of course it is. The belief is there for everyone. Every member of the squad and every member of staff, the belief's there from day one, and I think it'll be there right till the end. Like I've said already, we've got a great squad, we've got a great manager, and great crew staff as well, and it's something that we're striving towards this season. Hopefully, we come the end of the season, we're right up there, and we can gain the promotion that we're all dreaming of.
Favourite match day meal?
Favourite match day meal? Probably scrambled egg on toast with avocado on the side. That's a good match day meal.
Favourite restaurant in Torquay?
Oh, favourite restaurant in Torquay? Amici's.
Is that good?
Amici's. It's an Italian. Yeah, I don't think you'll get better than that. I think it's a really nice restaurant, and one I go to quite regularly when we're allowed.
Lots of food related questions. I've got no idea why, but pizza or burger? If so, pizza or burger? If so, what would be your ultimate toppings?
Gonna go pizza. Love pepperoni. Weird one. I love anchovies. So any anchovies on a pizza, if you haven't tried it, I think you need to try it. It's a great topping on a pizza.
I'll write that down.
Yeah, get that down. But yeah, normally have a pepperoni pizza. But yeah, I do love some anchovies on a pizza.
This one from Yorkshire Gulls. So up where you're born, obviously. And I think I know what your answer is going to be to this. Yorkshire pudding or cream tea?
Yeah, silly question that. You know the answer. It's always a Yorkshire pudding. It's never been cream tea.
Yeah. I think that's last of the food questions. So I genuinely got no idea. If someone could tell me why people are asking loads about food, I don't know. But that's what they want to ask. Who's the best player to warm up with half volley side winders on a Saturday morning at 8 up Canford? I think that's one of your mates.
From Jay McCarthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we always used to. He was at Bournemouth with me. we obviously spent our whole time together down there, and yeah, he's a great lad, and we always used to warm up together, and yeah, we still keep in contact now. So yeah, he's a good lad. I think he's in the same league now. He's at Weymouth, and he did well last year, and I think he's the captain down there as well. So it'll be good to see him when we finally play them.
Bit of a derby, that I think, is it? In my knowledge of geography.
Yeah, it won't be far off a derby. I think Yeovil's probably our main derby, but Weymouth's a very close club to play against as well.
Not a lot of teams down that way, so every game counts. Do you think you need to add more goals to your now consistent performances?
Yeah, I do. I think goals are a big part of football and a big part of me progressing as a footballer. I think I need to add more goals and more assists to my game. I've never scored 3 and 3, which is good, which is what I was doing before the weekend. But yeah, scoring more goals is a key feature that I want to be adding more to my game, and hopefully I can do this season. Yeah.
This Gull side is so talented. Cameron, Andrews himself, etc. How long can they hold the core of this team together? Is this season the best and last chance to get league football with that squad?
Yeah, we have got a very talented side. We've got a lot of good players in our football team. Hopefully not as a football club. I don't think it's the first and last time to get promoted. Like I said, we've got a good side this year, and hopefully we can go on to do big things and carry on playing the way we are.
Yeah, so thanks for taking time out to come and have a chat and chat about sort of your career and Torquay and sort of next season and the future. Yeah, just want to say thanks. And to anyone watching this, we've got some other ones. There'll be a link in the description so you can go and have a watch of the other podcasts. And yeah, thanks for coming on, mate. Cheers for taking time out.
Thank you for having me. Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Bye.